Yeah. I was laughing the other day thinking, I thought my name would be in lights, Las Vegas, Broadway.
Fix that for you.
What?
I can fix that for you.
Anyway, I'm so grateful for this space to work and create and have people come have a good time on Monday night. So anyway, she's taken the class before and she's really become a good friend as well. If you have ever been out to the airport and to Soaring NB, you might have seen her. In fact, she had a couple gliders, but I think she's down to one now after last Friday. You might have seen that in the paper. I think they're free glider rides. You didn't even have to get in them. You just sat on them and they were gone. So that was tragic, but she had a good attitude about it. But anyway, please put your hands together for the very funny Laurie HaHa.
Not really ready to laugh about that glider yet. I know. It's time plus tragedy plus comedy. Time. It just happened on Friday. I had to make a choice between bangs and Botox. Bangs won. I had to give up the real stuff when my insurance company wouldn't pay for my Botox anymore because being a sober, middle-aged woman trying to date in Carson Valley was not an accepted diagnostic code. So before I married my darling Silvio, I was on Match.com. And I have some tips for you guys. Now, don't pretend there's nobody out there who is on Match.com, because everybody knows you are. So, first of all, about the words, don't go all E.E. Cummings on us, okay? When you're writing about yourself, use capital letters, use good grammar, no stream of consciousness stuff. We really kind of want to know about you. Succinct, simple. But now let's get into the photo, because that's really what we always skip to the photo, okay? First of all, make it something recent. I would say in the last 20 or 30 pounds. I'd say that's probably acceptable. And then, I know they're really useful, but nobody looks good in bike shorts. Right? If you have to take a picture of yourself leaning up against your $3,000 rock hopper, pull some sweats on. Trust me, you'll stand this. And now, if you happen to be a photographer in your personal life, please do not post your entire portfolio. We're not interested, at least not at this stage. So I went on a couple dates, a lot of first dates, a couple dates. One guy that I went out with, I could never take him seriously because his head was shaped like a vagina. You know, it was a vaginal extrusion, which I guess really we all are, right? Okay? But his head never kind of rounded out like the rest of us. You know? I don't even know if he was a nice guy. Never could take him seriously. And then I was emailing back and forth with a guy who didn't have a photo posted. He's a really nice guy, read a lot of the same books. I said, okay, why don't we meet for a picnic? And I'll take your picture, and you know, a digital photographer, I'll take a picture, you can post it. Well, I tell you, I am glad I packed the pudding cups because this guy had no teeth. And, well, to be perfectly honest, he would have been more handsome with no teeth, but he had some like stumps and everything in there. I took a picture of him about to smile, you know, that just everything's about to happen on your face. And that way I let him, you know, he could perpetuate the charade and it was somebody else's problem. You know, I'm sure we've all at times dropped a turd in the family nest. You know, telling your folks that you're dating online, that's a turd in the family nest. They just don't get it. But there's lots of other ways, too, to drop turds in the family nest. One June morning, the phone rang. Laurie, this is your father calling. Knew I was in trouble. You forgot your mother's birthday, and she's convinced the only reason that would happen is because you're lying in a coma in a hospital somewhere. Oh, wow. That was a bad one. But the biggest turd by far that I have dropped in my family's nest is marrying a stranger that nobody in the family had met. Now, he wasn't a stranger to me. We'd known each other, what, Silvio, several months? I mean, come on, you know? But they just didn't get it. Now, my younger son told me straight up, not talking to you, Mom, till I meet him. Okay, a little harsh, black and white, I can handle that. My older son took me through a one-sided conversation that he had with a friend of his on the phone. Hey, Dylan, hi, yeah, it's Luke. Yeah, guess what, my mom, she got remarried. Yeah. Oh, no, I wasn't invited. No, can't say I've ever met the guy. No. Oh, no, nowhere around here. She told, I guess it was under some tree in New Zealand or something. Yeah, they just eloped over there, yeah. And then, of course, my mother, God bless her, was convinced, Laurie, why'd you marry him? He's probably just after a green card. You should have gotten you should have done an investigation, right? Private detective. And, really, Mom? You don't think that this deserves love? What kind of a mother are you? But now that they know Silvio, I actually think they like him better than they like me. New glasses? Oh, hey, Laurie, yeah, what does Silvio think? New haircut? Hey, yeah, wow, new haircut, Laurie, what does Silvio think? So like one day I called my mom. Sometimes you just, thank God I have a mom to call, okay? Gotta say that about her. But I just needed, I can't believe I said that out loud. That was unscripted. I needed her. I needed my mother, and I called her and I said, Mom, I'm really feeling fat and sad. And she said, oh, poor Silvio. He didn't sign up for that, Laurie. Snap out of it. But Silvio and I are quite a lazy married couple. In fact, we speak a language at home. It's called Silvio speak. And in Silvio speak, we have become potato couches. English is a second language for Silvio, very charming. In fact, somebody was giving me some trouble at work once, and he came up to me and he said, Laurie, do you need me to intervene? And a fascinating thing that we've often talked about at home is something that's really fascinates him, that here in America, in November, when we go to our polling place to elect our officials, voting is optional. Where in his home country in Australia, voting is mandatory. If you don't vote, there's a fine. Well, since it looks like I might need a ride home anyway, Silvio, is this a good time to tell you that I sort of blew our year of austerity already? I went to the Apple store. I promised myself I was only going to look around. But the merchandising, the colors, all the technology, I gotta tell you, I had an Applegasm and I threw my checkbook at him. I bought a bunch of new technology, and then I took my place at the Genius Bar with all the other middle-aged women who were trying to remember their passwords so that they could learn to use their new devices. My favorite word to say and my favorite yoga to do is Kundalini. Kundalini yoga. And my Kundalini guide, her name's Onkar Kaur. She's very special. Onkar Kaur. And she came recently for a magical weekend of Kundalini yoga. And we started every morning at 5 a.m. with a 2.5-hour meditation. So you might be saying, why 5 a.m.? And it's like, well, we all talked her out of 4 a.m., which is when she wanted to start it. She wears a turban. You know my fascination with turbans. She has a little turban she wears to contain her hair, and then a big one to complete the look, And she's a vegan, and sometimes I wonder if she hides, like, not vegan things in her turban. Like, maybe a little, beef jerky. But what we start the day with, when we're there at 5 a.m., we do we listen to a tantric recitation of the Japji from the Nitnam. I had to leave class. She says, now we're going to listen to the Japji from the Nitnam. It was written by Guru Nayak or Nanuk. No, Nanuk of the North. He's a savage, right? Written by some great guru, the Japji from the Nitnam. It was a really magical weekend with Ankar Kaur. And I do really love Kundalini Yoga. That's not a joke. And at the end of the weekend, I, of course, took some extra services from her. I earned her a little money. So I was writing her a check. And I said, okay, Ankar, I'm going to write you a check for the extra services. And she said, oh, this is how the magic goes poof. She said, oh, no, don't make it out to Ankar Kaur. Just make it out to Mary Bush.